New South Wales Police says its crackdown on warring crime families and rival street gangs across Sydney is working. There has been a dramatic fall in shootings 3 months after the state's anti-bikie squad was expanded to target emerging underworld networks. But critics say the lawful harassment tactics used by officers can overstep the mark. Crime reporter Mark Reddie was given a rare insight into the day-to-day operations of Strike Force Raptor for tonight's special report.
The shootings have stopped, but the force is only getting stronger. As morning breaks, these officers are preparing to break the underworld.
We've got information that the occupant is involved in a supply and manufacture of amphetamine.
If we can target the drug trade as well, it takes out the sort of reason behind the violence.
Heavily armed and in protective gear, these men belong to Strike Force Raptor, the state's anti-bikie squad, which was expanded to target new organised crime gangs in February. It's on a mission.
Basically to make their lives uncomfortable, to lawfully harass, to make them basically make a choice that they either continue their activities and they'll still have the same pressure, or they leave the organised crime, they leave the bikie group.
Today's target, this home near Penrith in Western Sydney.
Information was received through Crime Stoppers in relation to the manufacture and supply of methamphetamine.
Open the door! Get on the ground! Police!
Former Bandito bikie Jared Trelaw was arrested in front of his wife. $34,000 in cash and a large amount of steroids was seized from his home, but the investigation didn't stop there. Raids were then conducted on several storage sheds in St Mary's. Police say one had been turned into a drug lab. $300,000 worth of Xanax was found. A loaded handgun, as well as cars and jet skis worth $300,000 were also seized. Mr. Trelaw is now facing 15 serious charges. While this raid was hailed as a victory, sometimes officers leave empty-handed.
Making them uncomfortable to the point that either one, they get arrested and they are incarcerated, or two, they detest from their activities.
Operations like these were triggered by a wave of shootings at the end of last year. First, the Alameddine family was targeted. Then came the murder of Majid Hamzi, the brother of notorious gang leader Bassam Hamzi. And then this year, there was a drive-by at a home linked to the Hamzis that didn't go to plan.
It was a stray bullet that essentially went past the unit complex and into a hospital there at Auburn, narrowly missing a nurse. The reality was that was, I guess, the catalyst.
And so 3 months in, Raptor is a squad of 95. Come July, that number will be boosted to 115. These scenes have become all too familiar across parts of Sydney over recent months. Sometimes these operations are carried out daily. The aim is not to make arrests, but to wear down members of rival street gangs so they in turn put down their arms.
That's our ethos, to make the streets safer so that the mums and dads and kids can go to their parks, they can walk around, they can stay in their homes and not have to have fear that there's going to be a drive-by shooting or an attack.
In the first 3 months of this year, there were 17 shootings, from Mariong and Dural to Marylands and Blacktown. Now, almost 3 months later, and there has been only one. The violence appears to have subsided. Is it too early to say that the new Raptor squad has now been a success 3 months in?
Mark's going exceptionally well. I couldn't be more pleased with how the change in the squad has been undertaken and our operational activity to date.
In 3 months, Raptor has seized more than $2 million in cash, $20 million worth of drugs, and at least 37 weapons, including 12 guns.
The current focus has been on, suppressing the current conflicts within the Hamzi and Alameddine known groups.
Crime's not only limited to two families, despite what the media, what the police would like to indicate. There are a lot of other members of this community.
Criminal lawyer Ahmed Dib represents the Hamzi family along with others. He believes the powers handed to Raptor officers have gone too far.
You're innocent until you're proven guilty. So if you're being targeted, it's almost now reversed that mantra to being guilty until proven innocent.
In one case, the ABC's been told a woman was subjected to a raid simply for having a casual relationship with a gang member. There was no arrest and no charges were laid. 2 years ago, Raptor was found to have engaged in serious misconduct by intimidating a lawyer. That was the finding of the law enforcement watchdog. How do you ensure that this doesn't happen again?
The actions of those officers up there at Grafton were demonstrable. There is no excuse for what occurred, and it's unacceptable to the highest account.
So the challenge for Raptor going forward, striking a balance between the need to protect the public while respecting civil liberties. Mark Reddie, ABC News, Sydney.